Okay, here's an interesting question about FNAF 1. Was there any reason why the kitchen camera was disabled, like due to gameplay limits on click team or anything like that?
No. I just thought it would be interesting. I mean, you know, that mechanic ended up not really playing a big role in anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think originally, you know, I had wanted, and I got better with this in later games, how to make audio play a bigger role in it. You know, I got better at that. But in the first one, that was just my attempt to make audio play a bigger part in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of ended up just being just something different and not really being a major mechanic or anything.
First off, how did you think of Springtrap?
I don't know. Once again, he was just the character for that game. I did not sketch out a whole bunch of characters and write pros and cons lists. You know, he was just the natural villain for that. You know, I knew what the villain was supposed to be, and I just kind of started modeling him, and he just kind of came together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This model was like a big difference compared to the other ones that you did, because you had to go through all the details of the, you know, it being withered and having like body parts and gore and stuff like that. Yeah,
so he did take longer to model, and you know, his purple corpse is in that whole body that whole time.
Yeah.
You know, even though the majority of the game you never see it. You know, purple guy, he's in there.
You mentioned during the interview that you've watched MatPat's theories and stuff. Has there ever been a theorist or somebody you've watched on YouTube and you thought, you know what, this is actually quite close or like very accurate to the story I wanted to tell, or something like that? Like if they were right, close to being right, or something.
Yeah, but I can't say anything whenever I see that.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, I can't jump in and confirm it, because then people would stop caring at all. Then they would just wait for me to come out and give the answer.
To say something.
So I would just have to look at that. So I would just have to look at that comment and just kind of nod to myself, like, you got it. You know, you got it right, friend. But
you can't say anything.
But no one's gonna ever know. You know?
I'd say the box is the biggest mystery that everybody wants. Like even a tiny snippet of something. Help.
Okay. Well, I can try to give somewhat of an answer to that, even though it might not be extremely satisfying for a lot of people. So I would encourage people to turn off the interview if they don't want an answer that they might not be happy with. But you know, whenever I'm making these games, there are a lot of things that are in my head that are just flowing ideas. And when I have them and put them there, it's the first half of something. It's like a string or a rope, just like reaching out. And I know that what's there on the other end is there. I trust that it's there. I know that it's there. And then whenever I progress forward, the rest of that just reappears. The rest of it appears and just fits into place perfectly. That's how all of my games have been made. I feel that there is something there, and I make the roads to get there for that to be revealed. But then sometimes when things do progress, the roads aren't always the same roads as the ones that had been planned before. And so what that means is, even though at the time something was definitely there, something was definitely reaching out to be there, and I could feel that it was there, the progression of the story didn't go there. And so those strings never got pulled on, and those and the other half of that idea remained in the ether, remained in my subconscious. All of that to say, there is something in the box, but I never pursued it, and I don't know if I can find it again. And I think that that's the best answer that I can possibly give for that.
How has it been working on Fazbear Frights?
It's actually really enjoyable. It's probably one of the most enjoyable things that I do, because I just get to think up a really scary scenario, and then I create maybe a 10 to 15 page story out of it. And then I have writers that I work with, obviously, and they take that and they really flesh it out and fill it out and add the details and turn it into a full-length story. And I get to kind of just really see it come to life. Yeah, so it's been really enjoyable, and that's something that I really enjoy. It's funny because it's one of those things where as long as I know that that's something that's happening in my life, I might be at the gym or I might be watching the show, and then suddenly something will come to mind, and I'll be like, oh man, this is gonna make a great story, and I get right home and I start working on it.